Good morning and welcome to the Environment and Sustainability Committee number 9 for 2022. Noting that I'm the Deputy Chair, but I'm chairing the meeting today because we've got Councillor Milligan joining us via audio link. So I'll just move that in accordance with section 254K of the Local Government Act, Local Government Regulation rather, of 2012 and 8.6.2 of Council's Meeting Procedures Policy, attendance at committee meetings, Councillor Russell Milligan be permitted to participate in the meeting via audio link. Do I have a seconder for that? Thanks, Councillor Madsen. We'll take that to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous. And welcome to the meeting, Councillor Milligan. Thanks for joining us.
Thank you, Chair.
Councillor Kunzelman, would you do the honour of performing the acknowledgement of country this morning?
We recognise that there are traditional custodians of this land on which we meet today to make important decisions. The spirit of those traditional custodians is with us today as we try to make the best decisions on the use of the land and waters. We pay respect to those traditional custodians, acknowledging past and present leaders and the encouragement of new leaders as they emerge.
Thank you, Councillor. Moving on to item number 1 this morning, which is the confirmation of the minutes of the previous meeting. The recommendation here is that the minutes of the Environment and Sustainability Committee held on the 15th of September 2022 be confirmed. I'm happy to move. Do I have a seconder for that?
I'll second that. Thanks, Chair.
Thank you, Councillor Milligan. I open that up for any discussion, any corrections. There being none, we'll take that to the vote. All those in favour? And that's unanimous and carried. Moving on to item...
And I vote affirmative too, Chair.
Oh, I beg your pardon, Russell. Thank you. That is unanimous, including Councillor Milligan's confirmation that he votes in the affirmative. Item number 2, Healthy Land and Water Annual Cleanup Report, Bremer River 2021 to 2022. Does any member of committee wish to ask any questions of the relevant council officer? No. So the recommendation here is that the report be received and the contents noted. I'm happy to move. Would anyone like to second that? Thanks, Councillor Kunzelman. I'd now like to open that up for any discussion.
If I may, Chair, I just thought it's interesting on page, 25 of ours, but page 11 of the report, looking at the reduction strategies and the huge reduction in the number of plastic bottles that were collected. I think you've got to put that down to the containers for change scheme, I think.
Yeah, it's a great initiative. For the money that we put into it. We do get a great return to our environment. I just wanted to bring to the committee's attention this morning, just in the context of the Bremer and cleaning up initiatives, and I thank Councillor Kunzelman for bringing this to my attention yesterday afternoon. This is kind of this Healthy Land and Water initiative, as discussed with officers, represents the business as usual of council in terms of its cleanup efforts. On top of it, we have the trolley cleanup, as you all would be familiar with, and other initiatives along the Bremer River. Now, if we cast our minds back to the 8th of July 2021, where this committee recommended, in particular around the shopping trolleys discussion and debate, that council writes to the retailers listed in that particular report to see if we could get any funding or support from those particular retailers to help us in our endeavours to clean the trolleys out of the Bremer River. So I might propose a subsequent motion here and just and I'll move that that the CEO update us on the outcomes of those particular recommendations. And for the committee clerks, recommendations adopted at the meeting 8th of July 2021. Thank you. You're happy with that? Move seconded by Councillor Madsen. Oh, perfect. Thanks. Thank you. Any further discussion around that? I just thought it was important for us to have an update on that moving forward. I know that Planning and Regulatory Services and the Environment team have been making moves in the background, having these discussions, but I'd just like a formal note.
Chair, if I may.
Thanks, Councillor Milligan.
Yes, I'd just like to comment that I absolutely support that that be put forward additionally, and that we gain an update on that, but more so on the report itself at hand, that when we look at those findings that through the Bremer River Cleanup Program, approximately 8,184 items of waterway litter were collected over the 12 cleanup events, but that they were lightweight plastic items weighing an estimated 1.36 tonnes. Considering that plastic is a very light item itself, 1.36 tonnes of plastic is a massive volume. That's a very large amount of plastic, and that considering also, as the Mayor touched on, that the volume of bottles, plastic bottles, has trended downwards, even despite the wet weather inflows, that has bumped up general amounts of rubbish. So the bottles are down, most likely because of the container refund scheme, which clearly is an indicator that is working. That is a great thing. But it is. I just wanted to point out that it is very astounding the amount of plastic that is still ending up in our waterways, and that these cleanup events go a long way to rectifying that.
Thanks, Councillor Milligan, and I agree with that sentiment. Any work that we do cleaning litter out of our waterways is work well done. With no further discussion, we'll take that to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous in the room. Councillor Milligan, how do you vote?
Affirmative, thank you, Chair.
Thank you. Moving on to item number 3, SES Local Controller. Would anyone like to ask questions of the relevant council officer? Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman. Thank you, Ms. Kay Kavanagh.
Good morning, Kay Kavanagh, Manager, Environment Sustainability.
Thank you. Thanks, Councillor Kunzelman.
Thank you, Ms Kavanagh. I'm very happy with your response on contingency arrangements for what we can only call the disaster season. That is that the role will never be truly vacant, including our ability to appoint a coordinator on a temporary basis. I understand also that there is always consultation with Council on the appointment. My only question then is, how will the position of coordinator, being essentially part-time, work out in a disaster event?
Yeah, so essentially the option that's put forward is recognising the multiple aspects of the role, being the training and the activation through an event, as well as a lot of the administrative secretariat type role that the current local coordinator does. By separating that and then having the part-time local controller, they will still be required to be available for all training and all events. And then you have the deputy local controllers. Currently there's 3 that would be available to step up and do the full training and everything to support the local controller. So there's contingency and redundancy built into the system, essentially to be able to make sure that there is somebody available and active at all times.
Thank you for providing that reassurance for our residents. And once again, we applaud the efforts of the SES, and we enjoy their association with council and support their work.
Absolutely.
No further questions? Thank you very much. So we've got two recommendations here. A, that council adopt the recommended option 1 in relation to the future of the Ipswich SES local controller and management of associated council assets, which includes the payment of a $35,000 honorarium. And B, that council authorise the Chief Executive Officer to take the steps reasonably necessary to implement and finalise recommendation A. I'm happy to move that. Do I have a seconder? Thank you, Councillor Kunzelman. I now would like to open that up for any further discussion. Thanks, Mayor.
If I may, Chair, I've got to admit I do like the current system that QFES have with SES, but I also trust QFES immensely, and this is a trend that they're doing with other councils, and they've made their suggestions as to why this happens. I understand that council will do a lot of the secretariat work that normally that SES controller would do, so they will have more time. So for me, as long as that person can do the role and the SES are able to do that to support our community, that's my number one concern. And I know Councillor Kunzman also spoke about the recruitment. Obviously, that it'll be going out, I think, be advertised soon, and they obviously need to have it filled before the end of December. During our storm period as well. So, but there are 3 deputy local controllers who can also step up if something does happen, and around that December if they haven't appointed someone as well. So, like I said, I have faith in QFES in the reasons for the change of this, and it's a great position, and it's a great organisation. So hopefully we'll get a really great person in there.
Absolutely. Any further discussion? No, we'll take that to the vote. All those in favour? That's unanimous in the room. Councillor Milligan online, how do you vote?
Affirmative, thank you, Chair.
Thank you, that's unanimous and carried. Which brings us to the end of the Environment and Sustainability Committee meeting today at 11:57 a.m. We'll commence committee 7 minutes past midday. Thanks.